All right, let's talk about something that's jumped right out of science fiction and into our reality. I'm talking about artificial general intelligence, AGI. And believe me, it's coming a lot sooner than most of us think.
So, what if an AI with human level intelligence just showed up next year? Seriously, just think about that. This isn't some late night dorm room question anymore. This is a very real scenario that the absolute top minds in AI are grappling with right now.
Okay, so how are we going to tackle this beast? We've broken it down into 4 key parts for you. First, the AGI countdown. Then, what this means for the world of work. After that, we'll zoom out to the global race for AGI. And finally, we'll get practical with your very own AGI Prep Kit.
All right, let's dive right in with the question on everyone's mind. When? Welcome to the AGI countdown.
Yeah, you're seeing that number correctly. 2026. That's not a typo. Some of the biggest names in AI are saying we could hit AGI as early as that. I mean, a prediction like that, it changes everything. It means the window to get ready is right now. The clock is definitely ticking. So, how is this thing going to show up? Is it going to be some big, dramatic press conference? Well, probably not. The experts think the most likely scenario is something a lot quieter. It's what they call a gradual rollout. Basically, the AI models we already use are just going to keep getting better and better and better until one day we realize they've crossed this invisible line into AGI. We might not even notice the exact moment it happened. And, there's a reason for this gradual approach. It really comes down to one thing: safety. The thinking is, if we introduce these powerful systems slowly, it gives all of us, our society, our economy, time to adjust. And that is way, way safer than just dropping a world-changing shock to the system overnight. Okay, but who's actually in this race? Because this isn't some side project in a garage. We're talking about a massive, high-stakes, multi-billion-dollar sprint. You've got the giants, right? OpenAI and Google DeepMind. Their main strategy is scaling, which basically means just building bigger and bigger models. Then here's Anthropic. They're coming at it from a different angle, a safety-first approach. They're using something they call constitutional AI, which is kind of like hard-coding a set of ethical principles right into the AI itself.
And then you've got the newer players, like XAI. And this quote from Elon Musk, wow, it really says it all about their goal. They're not just trying to build a better search engine. They're aiming to create a partner that can help us figure out the entire universe. I mean, that's just a totally different level of ambition, isn't it?
Okay, so you've got this insane race happening at the highest levels. But what does it actually mean for us, for our jobs, for our careers? That's what we're jumping into next, a new world of work. This is probably the single most important idea to get your head around. There's a fundamental mindset shift we all need to make. The old way of thinking, that's seeing AI as a competitor, something that's coming for your job. The new mindset, the one that's going to help you succeed, is to see AI as a collaborator, a ridiculously powerful partner that makes you better at what you do. And this way of thinking leads to a whole new kind of job. I want you to start thinking of your future title as AI manager, because your main job might not be doing the nitty-gritty tasks anymore. It's going to be managing, directing, and overseeing the AI that does those tasks. So what does that actually look like day to day? Well, a programmer might not write every single line of code anymore. Instead, they'll direct an AI that writes perfect code, but the human provides the creative vision. Or think about a doctor. They might get a perfect initial diagnosis from an AGI, but it's the doctor who applies their human judgment and experience to that information. Basically, your job becomes providing the context, doing the quality control, and most importantly, making that final ethical sign-off. And this all leads to something kind of fascinating, which people are calling the AGI Paradox. It sounds a little backwards, but here it is. The more advanced the technology gets, the more valuable our uniquely human skills become. So, what are we talking about here? What are these uniquely human skills? Well, it's things like creative problem solving, especially when there's no clear answer. It's genuine empathy, truly connecting with other people. And it's making those really tough ethical calls. That's where we humans are going to shine. Okay, let's pull the camera back a bit. For our third section, we're looking at the global race for AGI. Because, trust me, this is way, way bigger than just a few startups in California. You really have to understand, this is a full-on global competition. And it's heating up. The latest reports show that China's top AI models are now right there, neck and neck with the best models in the West. And they're backed by this massive, coordinated national strategy that just adds a whole new dimension of geopolitical tension to everything. And a huge part of that competition is playing out right now in what everyone's calling the chip war. This is basically a geopolitical battle for control over the advanced computer chips, the literal brains, that you need to train AGI. And the logic here is brutally simple. Whoever controls the chips controls the pace of AGI development. And this isn't some abstract political game. This fight directly impacts the cost of your next phone and even a country's national security. So this really boils down to a central tension. It's like a car with two drivers. On one side, you've got the private companies, and they've got their foot slammed on the accelerator, just pushing for faster and faster innovation. But on the other side, you have governments trying to tap the brakes, worried about safety and, what this all means for national security. So what are governments actually doing? Well, they're trying to put up some guardrails. We're seeing things like asking for voluntary commitments from the big tech companies, there are calls for mandatory safety tests, and they're pushing companies to share more information about what they're building. But, of course, the industry has a counterargument. Their big fear is that if you put too many regulations in place, you'll just slow down innovation at home, and that could hand a massive advantage to your global competitors who are moving at full speed. It's a really, really tricky balancing act. Okay, which brings us to our last section, and honestly, this might be the most important one for you. Let's talk about your AGI Prep Kit. What can you actually do to get ready for all this, starting right now? So we've boiled it down to 4 really practical steps. Number 1, become AI literate. You don't need to be a coder, but you need to understand the basics. 2, get hands-on. Start playing with the AI tools that are out there right now. 3, commit to lifelong learning. You have to accept that the ground is just going to keep shifting under our feet. And 4, just like we talked about, double down on your human skills. Focus on empathy, creativity, and critical thinking. But when you boil it all down, the single most important thing isn't learning one specific skill. It's all about your mindset. Being flexible, staying curious, and just being ready to adapt, that is your superpower in this new world. And so that leaves us with the biggest question of all. We've talked about what's coming, who's building it, and how you can prepare, but this is the real dilemma that's going to define our future. AGI is coming, so who gets to decide how it's used? Who should have that kind of power? That's the question we all need to start asking ourselves, and we need to start right now.